So when I get here, before all the girls get here at 7:30ish, and I look out and the field's empty, or there's a couple of people running laps or something, I'm like, it's just ripe with possibilities, and that's one of the things I like about it. I love that sense of we're about to do something, and the field is open, and you can sort of feel the project is open for the same reason. It's great. When I was still president of the club, finding coaches for girls' teams was very difficult, because everyone who knew soccer would say, I really want to coach real soccer. And I'm like, so that's why I started really coaching girls all the time, because it was hard to find people who were willing to coach girls' soccer and take them seriously as athletes. One of the things that was so obvious is that we had girls' teams and boys' teams, and when the girls' teams played, the mothers came to watch and support them. When we had boys' teams play, the mothers and fathers came to watch and support them. Being a father of girls, that sort of irritated me. The girls who were serious about playing soccer, and at that stage at the high school it was 4 or 5 per year, not very many more than that, were training by going for 5-mile runs. I said, listen, if you're going to use this time anyway, let's use it to A, protect you from ACL tears, and B, actually make you better soccer players. And that was how it started. And we had, I think, 7 people signing up to do it the first year. And it was a very, very small group. It's called Chan Camp because no one pays any attention to what I call it, and they just refer to it by my name. And for 12 years, I paid no attention to that and pretended I didn't even know it. But I've sort of given up, because it's like, if it's been happening for 12 years, there's only so much. I lose credibility pretending that I don't know it's called Chan Camp.
You don't warm up passing and standing still. You warm up passing and moving.
Growing up, mostly I played with boys, and Chan Camp was actually kind of like my reintroduction into girls soccer. My internalized perception of women's soccer was it's not as competitive, which is like a terrible internalized thing to hear about your own sport, but it's real. And so that's part of the reason why I played with the boys, is because there was that encouragement to be aggressive and gritty. So when I went to Chan Camp, my main concern, I was like, is the aggression going to be there? Is there going to be that edge? And there was, and it's because of the culture that Chan has created. It's given me a community of girls where discipline and commitment to the sport and showing up every morning, that's number one. And so being just a part of a group of girls like that, it's changed me as a soccer player.
I had already known Chan, so he was really nice to me, but the older girls, some of them were really intimidating. There was a goalie that is now at University of Michigan, D1, and she's all-American. I remember I did this lifting drill with her, and she was just so how are you? And I was you're talking to me? I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So yeah, that was I think one of my first memories from Chan Camp. I was just a baby.
Go. Follow your player, not the ball.
I remember my first summer at Chan Camp just being so intimidated by the older girls who were here, and seeing how I thought they were professionals. I was they're so tall, they're so good, they can do everything so easily. But it's really just amazing what he can do, because I went from that, and now as a senior, I feel very, very confident. And I credit every aspect of how I play soccer, I credit to Chan.
My freshman year, I was actually way too scared to even come to Chan Camp because I just heard so many, like, terrifying stories. But then going into my sophomore year, I was like, you know, like, I'm going to give it a try. Like, why not? Like, everyone loves it. It's just, like, something so different when you go because Chan is just, like, so motivating and he just makes it so fun. And when you're finished, it's just the most satisfying feeling to know that you've, like, actually completed it or gone through a workout. And, like, every day has its own, like, challenge. And I feel like every day, like, you just, like, feel so good about yourself and so proud when you leave. And I ended up doing it, like, every single day all summer for 3 summers.
One of the things I try to do is create an environment that is fun for the younger players. I remember there were some older players who would be really intimidating and kind of mean, and that would make me feel less confident versus the older players who were super welcoming and happy to see me. And so I just want to be one of those players who, like, the younger kids are happy to see and knows their name and is more encouraging rather than sort of demeaning and stuff like that.
I think that coming back now from college and seeing the younger girls and playing with them, I have sort of like a soft spot and appreciation for being in that place and sort of knowing what it's like to feel there's so much left to do to grow and gain your confidence. And I just think that's a really cool like setup that you're able to play with older girls and you're able to play with younger girls, and there's like that camaraderie there and you're able to grow and build from one another.
I think like a lot of people have this like mindset when they go into Chan Camp that's like, oh, it's really, really hard, like all running. But I think when you come here, it's just all fun too. Like, yes, it's hard, but everyone here just makes it fun. So
Not so much this year, but especially like coming in from 8th grade, it's like you're not like in high school yet, and it's like Chan Camp is this like mysterious thing that's supposed to be like impossible to like finish and stuff. But I feel like Chan's personality and like everyone here kind of like, yes, it's challenging, but like makes it like doable.
Yeah.
Like having to do it on your own would be like a lot harder.
Yeah. We all push each other to do better, so it's definitely a lot more fun and easier doing it with the other girls.
I wouldn't say I try and mentor the girls, but I try and like have fun with them. I want them to be included as well, because I know when I was that age, like I wanted to be included.
And also it's just like fun to hear about their lives. Like they're you don't really interact with the kids in different grades, but then you get to Chan and you're meeting all these new like 9th graders, and it's just really fun to talk to them.
You like connect all the dots, kind of like
Yeah.
if you went to the same elementary school and everything.
I think that's the best part, like those little details, like you get to know them. And it's just kind of like everyone talks to everyone, which is nice because like we mix up the groups and everything. And I don't know, it's just kind of like, it's nice to get to know people from like a vast majority of ages.
Chan does these like sometimes after Chan camp people will stay later and like he'll help train, and so me and Julia stayed after to work on headers. And he was just throwing tennis balls at our heads and we were trying to head them back to him.
Yeah, that was really fun.
And Julia couldn't catch the balls.
But I was better at heading.
And it's like that jokey, like he makes fun of you, but it makes you honestly want to get better. Like you appreciate it in a fun, like joking way, but then at the end of the day you're like, I need to fix this, and he's saying something, so it needs to be better.
This whole summer he's been like making fun of me the whole summer, and I'm like, Chan, stop. But like at the end of the day I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
It just
like,
makes it so much more fun.
I wouldn't change it. Like,
Yeah,
not at
same.
all. Like he respects us,
Yeah.
and like we respect him, and I think that's like not all coaches and like players have that relationship, and I think that's like one of the best things.
That was not 20, because I headed it. You're that. You get no credit for 20 there, none at all. Just so you know what we're doing, we're running a 200 yards, which is half the length of the track. But I want to just talk a little bit about what type of failure is the best type of failure here. What we're doing today does not injure you. It causes pain, but it doesn't injure you.
The environment of Chan Camp, he has a very specific coaching style that's unlike any other coach I've had before. And I think with Chan Camp, the thing that differentiated it for me was that feeling of like, wow, I really want to do well. I really want to do this for myself, for my teammates, for Chan. And I think it just it pushed me to a level that was way beyond the levels that I was pushed at other practices. And so I think like the physical, but also just like the mental aspect of it too.
8, 9, 10, good pace.
I feel like Chan Camp helped develop a sense of resiliency for me, showing up every day over the summer and being like, oh my gosh, I have such a hard task in front of me in a sense, but then being able to complete that and feeling rewarded. I feel like I've been able to translate that to other things that aren't soccer, and I think I valued that a lot.
40. Guys are almost done.
Chan Camp sort of reinforced for me what an important part of my soccer experience it is to have a really strong sense of community and really good relationships with my teammates. So I think that's something that has stayed with me throughout high school and college, was this emphasis on being close with my teammates, working hard with them, and just how much that improves my soccer experience overall.
And MacVeagh, you're doing the easy version. You're just waiting. You don't get to wait as a striker because then they cut in front of you. And I need you taking that one step forward, then control, turn, shoot, right? Let's get the balls back out there. If you initiate the contact, you control it. If they initiate the contact, you don't control it. Yeah, and so that was great. The ball was in the wrong spot, you adjusted, ball's in the right spot, now you take a great shot, all right? That's what we're looking, get the ball to the right spot. Woo! Even I can defend that. Yeah, one more set.
I feel like when you're a younger kid, you're in 8th grade, it feels like you need to be perfect when you're here, and you need to be on it because you're not yet in high school, you're about to go to tryouts, you feel like you can't make a mistake, and then suddenly Chan yells at you and you're kind of like freaked out for a moment, but then you realize
No, you're
like,
part of the clan.
Yeah, you're like initiated.
Yeah.
Like, you're in it now. Like you're like, oh wait, this isn't that bad. Like he actually wants me to improve. He wants me to get better, and it like almost like motivates you. Like he just really knows how to motivate you.
I moved to Spain last year, and I just finished my first professional season in Spain for the 3rd national division there, La Primera Nacional. I would come to Chan Camp sort of every summer before high school and then the summer before my freshman year of college. I think my freshman year, we had a really difficult time my freshman year of high school coming into the season. We had an uncomfortable dynamic, and it was a team that had not won a lot of games in a lot of years. And so over the course of my 4 years in high school, we went from having won one in-league game to making the playoffs for the first time in 38 years. And so it was cool every summer to sort of like see how Chan Camp evolved and how younger players were coming in a lot stronger, but also the culture was changing, and you could feel that.
You go into like a space and like sometimes you have to prove yourself, and like sometimes you have to like force people to give you respect, and and you have to show that yourself. And like I think Chan Camp, you show up when you're younger and you're like, okay, I gotta make my mark, so
I remember you making your mark, Terry.
When you're at the sideline of games now, the mothers and fathers come to the girls' games and the boys' games. So that's one of the biggest changes.
Being in an environment where I'm surrounded by other young women who are like taking care of their bodies and who are working really hard and using their bodies for something like powerful, I think that environment is super unique, especially in high school. People who have done Chan Camp, people who played soccer in Brookline, I think we carry ourselves differently because we have this sense of we can push ourselves, and I know that even if I'm exhausted, even if I've played Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I can still show up on Friday for the hardest day yet of the week. I think that drive, the tenacity, the grit, I think a lot of it comes from this, yes.